Many businesses judge pipeline health by looking at what is entering it. New leads, new opportunities, new conversations, new activity at the top. From the outside, that can feel like the most important signal. If enough opportunity is entering the system, the pipeline appears alive. But pipeline health is not proven mainly by what enters. It is proven by what leaves in a healthy way. That distinction matters because input alone does not tell the business whether the system is actually working well. A pipeline can keep receiving opportunity and still fail to turn that opportunity into clean progression, stronger stages, or reliable outcomes. That is where many businesses start reading the pipeline incorrectly. They see inflow and assume future strength. But inflow without healthy output can create a very misleading picture. More names appear, more cases get opened, more activity becomes visible. So the system feels productive. But if too little of that opportunity is actually leaving the pipeline through meaningful advancement, then the business is not building strength. It is only increasing inventory. This is why output matters so much. What leaves the pipeline well proves more than what enters it easily. It proves that opportunity is being converted, moved, qualified, advanced, and carried through the system with enough quality to create real business value. Without that proof, input is only potential, and potential by itself does not make the pipeline healthy. A healthy pipeline does not only absorb opportunity, it transforms it. That is why what leaves the pipeline matters more than what enters it. Input shows activity. Output shows whether the system is actually producing something strong enough to trust.
What makes this difficult is that input is easier to celebrate than output. New leads feel like momentum. New opportunities feel like growth. New activity creates visible movement that the business can point to. That creates confidence. But confidence built on entry alone is fragile. Because opportunity entering the pipeline does not prove that the system is handling opportunity well. It only proves that the system is being fed. What matters more is whether that opportunity is leaving the pipeline with stronger condition than it had before. Is it being qualified well? Is it advancing stages cleanly? Is it moving with healthy timing? Is it creating believable progression instead of only staying visible? That is a much stricter standard, and it is the standard that actually reveals pipeline quality. A pipeline can look active at the top while remaining weak underneath. More cases open, more names in review, more conversations happening. But if too little of that opportunity is actually becoming healthier output, the system is not improving, it is accumulating. That is why output matters more than input. Input creates potential. Output proves transformation. And a pipeline is only strong when it does more than collect possibility. It has to turn possibility into progression, strong enough to support the business with real confidence.
This is why output is the better test of pipeline truth. What enters the system still carries uncertainty. A lead may look promising. An opportunity may feel active. A conversation may seem strong. But until that opportunity moves through the pipeline with enough quality, the business still does not know how much of that input is becoming real value. That is where output becomes powerful. Output shows whether the system is actually working. Are opportunities leaving stages with stronger confidence? Are they reaching better conditions? Are they becoming more believable, more qualified, more advanced, and more likely to support revenue? Those are output questions, and they reveal much more than raw inflow does. Because a pipeline can stay busy at the top while staying weak in the middle. More entry, more visibility, more activity. But if what leaves the system is still too soft, too slow, or too inconsistent, the pipeline is not healthy enough. It is only absorbing work. That distinction matters because many businesses keep measuring effort at the entrance instead of quality at the exit. A stronger system does the opposite. It asks not only how much opportunity arrived, but how much of that opportunity actually became stronger as it moved through the pipeline.
That is what makes output a better signal. Input shows motion. Output shows whether motion is turning into something the business can trust.
This is also why output improves pipeline judgment. When the business focuses too much on what is entering, it becomes easier to confuse activity with health. A strong top of pipeline can create optimism quickly. There are new names, there is visible movement, there are fresh opportunities to discuss. But those signals still sit close to uncertainty. They show what might become valuable, not what has already proven itself inside the system. Output changes that. It shows whether opportunity is actually becoming stronger as it moves forward. That makes the pipeline easier to read, because now the business can ask not only how much opportunity arrived, but how much of it is leaving each part of the system with better condition than before. That is a much more useful standard. A pipeline should not only be judged by how much it receives, it should be judged by how much it improves. If more opportunity enters, but too little leaves with stronger confidence, clearer next steps, or healthier progression, then the system is not building enough value. It is only becoming more crowded. This is why output matters so much. It prevents the business from over-trusting early activity. It forces attention toward what the pipeline is actually producing. And once that becomes visible, the system gets much easier to govern, with more honesty and less false comfort. This is why weak output should always be taken more seriously than strong input. A pipeline can keep receiving opportunity and still become less trustworthy if too little of that opportunity is leaving the system well. That is the real warning. Because once output weakens, the business starts carrying more possibility without enough proof that possibility is becoming real pipeline strength. Now, the system may still look active, more cases open, more names visible, more movement at the top. But if what leaves the pipeline is not becoming cleaner, stronger, or more believable, the business is not really improving. It is only feeding uncertainty. This is what makes output such an important operating signal. It shows whether the pipeline is producing value or only collecting potential. That difference changes decision-making. If output is strong, the business can trust that the system is transforming opportunity well. If output is weak, the business should not feel reassured just because input remains high. That is where many teams get misled. They keep celebrating entry while the real weakness is happening in what fails to leave well enough. A healthier pipeline treats output as proof. Not perfect proof of future revenue, but proof that the system is actually improving opportunity instead of merely holding it. That is why what leaves the pipeline matters more than what enters it. Input creates hope. Output shows whether the system has earned that hope. A stronger business does not only try to increase what enters the pipeline, it pays close attention to what the pipeline is actually releasing with enough quality to matter. That is the real measure of health. Because output is where the system stops talking about potential and starts proving performance. An opportunity that leaves a stage well leaves with stronger condition, more clarity, more readiness, more believable movement, more confidence that the pipeline is not only receiving work, but improving it. That is what makes output such a powerful operating signal. It reveals whether the system is transforming opportunity or merely containing it. And that difference matters more than many businesses realize. A pipeline can stay full for a long time without becoming truly stronger. But if what leaves the pipeline keeps improving in quality, the business can trust that the system is working. That is why what leaves the pipeline matters more than what enters it. Input may create motion. Output proves whether that motion is becoming something the business can actually rely on. That is the real point. A pipeline does not prove its health mainly by how much it receives. It proves its health by how much it improves before opportunity leaves each stage. Because input creates possibility, but output shows whether the system is actually turning that possibility into something stronger, clearer, and more reliable.